Don't leave me hanging. It's go time.
Hey everybody, this is Josh, and here we have a game between mouzStrelok, the blue Terran on the bottom of Lost Temple, and his opponent oGS, being played by oGsZenio. You may recognize the name. He is a Code S player in the GSL tournament over in South Korea. He's playing this game from South Korea right now on the North American server, I believe. That's why he's just oGS and not oGsZenio. He's playing on that North American server against a European. That way, if they played on the European server, Strelok would have a latency advantage, and if they played on the Korean server, obviously Zenio would have a latency advantage, so they agreed to play these games on the North American server. Strelok has his own account, but Zenio must borrow the communal team account, just oGS. But it is Zenio. You know how I know? Because this was an invitational tournament, and I don't think Zenio would let someone else play for him if he was invited to try and win some money. This is the Kaspersky New Year's StarCraft 2 Invitational with about $1,700 in prize money. First place is going to get $800 American, so both players playing for some dough. In these quarterfinals, actually, it is a best of 3 series. We already saw game 1. The loser of this best of 3 will still get $50 American, and the winner will go on to the semifinals for a chance at $100, $200, $400, or $800 dollars if they continue on and actually win the whole thing. So Strelok doing something we saw again from that first game on Zelnaga Caverns. He's walling off the bottom of his ramp, building a second barracks very quickly instead of getting that gas up in a factory. So it looks like Strelok's going to be a bit more aggressive here on Lost Temple. Not sure if we're going to see any drops or anything like that this time around, as usually Terran players like to abuse these cliffs against their Zerg opponents. Zerg players have more or less figured out how to defend against these things, though. Really quick spires, good queen and spinecrawler placements, you know, even really quick overlord drop upgrade, ventral sacks. You know, any of those things can stop Terran aggression on these cliffs at the right point in the game if you know it's coming. I mean, it's still difficult to defend, but it's kind of fallen out of favor from these Terran players. Orbital Command still coming pretty much on time. He just built a barracks instead of a refinery. Looks like he's going to be going with heavy marine aggression, sending an SCV up there quickly to try and get some bunkers up, perhaps. However, Strelok's going to be a little bit too slow if he's going to try and bunker this up. It looks like the spawning pool is going to be completing here relatively soon. This hatchery is going to go up without being thwarted here. And a drone did just see this SCV come up here. He's got to be a little bit concerned. He's blocking the bottom here so that Strelok cannot wall him in. Great move by Zenio pulling this number of drones. This seems to be an appropriate number here. Looks like Strelok was gunning for that Overlord instead of trying to kill off those drones. Oh no, he's going to kill so many drones here with these 3 Marines. This is just going to be a micro battle here in the early game. Strelok against Zenio. Look at this wall off down here. 6 lings coming out. The bunker is not complete yet, though, so these 2 Marines are still exposed for the time being. There is larva coming out of this completed hatchery now, so lings are going to be popping down at the bottom of this ramp. Finally, the bunker completes, so the Marines can just hop inside. Probably going to be just fine against this number of lings. 3 lings are going to run out of the base for Zenio. I'm not sure where he's going to head with those, but these 3 Marines in this bunker are probably going to be just fine. Maybe he's going to try and cut off these reinforcements here with this number of lings. I don't know if that's going to be possible, though, because Marines do pretty well against these lings as long as they're microed. As long as he keeps them right here, actually, that's a good idea, because it's a short run distance for any lings that pop out of this hatch, and it will allow Zenio to stop any Marines from coming up here into the bunkered area. And Strelok knows now that this is what Zenio's trying to do, so he's massing up his Marines as well. He is doing the micro that I mentioned a second ago. As long as he just keeps doing the stutter step, should be able to thin out all the rest of these lings, and he actually does, except for 2 there. And Zenio's not going to be able to build enough lings out of this hatchery before it goes down to be able to stop these reinforcements, so Strelok just continues with that stop and shoot micro, kills off all the rest of those lings. Now he can hop 1 more in the bunker, maybe. Oh, Zergling speed finishes before that Marine can get in there safely, but the next one does get in. Zenio with just a single speedling down here. He's trying to attack now with all of these lings, but he's not going to be able to get it at those SCVs. This is just great placement by Strelok. He's really fortunate to be able to get this up in time. And yeah, Strelok just 6 Marines right here killing off broodlings, speedlings as they come. Can't really do anything about it. The SCVs were actually finally killed off there. Good move by Zenio, killing off those SCVs with those broodlings and those drones and speedlings throughout this game. Finally was able to wear them down enough to get them to die, so he might be able to continue hitting the supply depot soon. He's got a baneling nest almost up. He should maybe get another gas here, and now that there are no SCVs here to continue this frontal assault, I don't know that Strelok's going to be able to take out this base or not. He doesn't even know if there's like spine crawlers up there. There actually aren't any spine crawlers, but that would be pretty hard for Strelok to try and push with just Marines, and it looks like Strelok finally has gotten away from that mineral only build mentality and is adding 2 more barracks and another command center here. He's turning it into an orbital. He hasn't spent any gas yet. It looks like there's no add-ons anywhere, just 4 barracks and that second orbital command coming up now. No gas has been spent. That is interesting. There's 1 tech lab coming up right now, and he's got 260, 270 pooled right there. Zenio does have banelings coming now. The baneling nest did finish, so he's got a few here. It's not going to be enough to actually right now to break this, so he's going to have to morph some more. Actually, these lings will certainly help. And he almost kills that bunker off. He pulls all the rest of his lings back to finish off this bunker and these Marines inside. They are very squishy. They were injured earlier. Now the supply depot goes down as well, and Zenio can continue on as if nothing had ever happened. He's trying to keep an eye right here. You will see this orbital command from Strelok about to start expanding here. Now we have 4 barracks, 2 of them have tech labs, Stimpack and combat shields are coming, Marauders are being created. Looks like Strelok's transitioning to just an MMM build. He's got a lot of gas still, a good number of gas anyway. He can start to build a factory soon and start moving toward medevacs. He does not have that expansion dropped there just yet. Is he building any SCVs out of here? No, he is dropping mules already though. Soon he'll hit 50 energy again. We'll be able to drop 1 more. Let's see if he does or not. Yes, he does immediately. Now he's going to lift off and move it on over there. Should have probably used this SCV maybe to build a bunker or 2 here at the front just to defend against the speedlings and banelings that he knows his opponent has. Are these speedlings going to block the landing? No, they are not. They're just going to get the hell out of there. He does not want any part of this. He does not have the necessary forces to deal with this right now. Trying to get his own hatchery up at his natural. He's got a lot of drones here right now, though. Let's check out the income tab here. 31 harvesters for Zenio, despite losing all of those and that hatchery so early in the game against 26 from Strelok. Strelok just had to pool all of his resources to keep those Marines coming. And this scouting overlord is going to get a face full of bullets from all of these Marines. He will see those SCVs transferring over, and didn't really see anything except a lot of barracks, which he knew he already had when he saw all those bio units, and a factory starting to come up. So the factory coming up actually was probably the most valuable information that the overlord managed to get. Strelok is starting to move now. He doesn't have any weapon upgrades just yet, just concussive shells. Actually, doesn't even have concussive shells yet. Let's switch back to this production tab and see those concussive shells researching. He's probably going to have them finished by the time he reaches that base, but combat shields are done, Stimpack's done, Stimpack being the major upgrade here in this army. He drops that scan first just to see what's going on. He sees all those banelings morphing and running away, so he's going to have to put these Marauders in the front. If he leaves those Marines in front, I'm just going to be sad. He's trying to take out, some of these units are shooting eggs right now, which is never a good idea, unless you've got Psystorm or something, which just kills eggs. Kills larvae really quickly at least, and I mean, just don't target eggs. You need to target a hatch or some units. But Strelok with some great micro there actually didn't lose any units to those banelings. He's going to continue trying to pick them off. A couple of banelings do go down there, but I didn't see really a lot of losses from Strelok. Oh, that was probably the most beefy baneling attack that Zenio managed to get. And now Strelok is still left with a standing army. Zenio left with almost nothing. 41 supply against 68 from Strelok. No reinforcements coming from Strelok just yet, so if Zenio can keep these speedlings, broodlings, everything coming and killing off these Marauders, Strelok's attack is going to be ended right there. Zenio lost a second hatchery, has not been able to expand all over the map like he was, and Zenlaga Cavern, so Strelok doing a good job staying ahead on the economy with that very aggressive bunker rush at the beginning, and just walling Zenio off from his own expansion. So now the starport's finished, now it's dropped on a reactor, medevacs can begin churning out. I would like to see an engineering bay just to get these bio units even more powerful as they move across the middle of the map for another attack. Zenio, I'm not sure what you're going to be doing, buddy. You're just continuing to build speedlings and banelings, which is really all I can expect, since you have a roach warren, but they're not going to help that much against this number of Marauders and Marines with stim. and you can't get that lair up for roach speed upgrades, so these fast speedlings and slow banelings are pretty much all you're going to be working with here against this attack as well. Strelok doing a good job keeping this pressure up. No drones are going to be able to get out of here unless Zenio gets up to a lair. He does not want to spend that gas right now. He's got to continue to build banelings just to fight Strelok. And oh, we got a decent baneling splash right there. There was a couple of good ones there. So now Zenio turns the tide just a little bit, getting some more Zerglings and Speedlings available, staying alive with those. And now 2 medevacs full of units here. Actually, this one's only half full of units. Start to ferry their way into the main of Zenio. It looks like he's going to have to recall all of these banelings and speedlings. If Strelok is good enough with his medevac micro, he can keep all of these from being killed by any banelings. But Zenio, of course, can just run underneath them and make sure that there's no real safe place to drop this stuff, except on that cliff that I mentioned earlier. Obviously, Zenio has not had time to get a spire up or the Overlord drop upgrade or anything like that. Oh, he drops those Marines down the bottom there. I'm not sure if that had to be a mistake. I don't know what was up with that. No way he should have done that and lost all those Marines. And maybe he realizes now. I'm not sure why he's dropping them down on the low ground. There's really no need for it. Obviously, I mean, there's no range. These don't have enough range up on the cliff to hit these very valuable targets, but just letting him die, he's not going to be able to kill anything when Zenio's army's standing right there. Zenio's going to try and do a sneaky expansion over here in the far right spawn location. Not sure it's going to be enough. Not sure how he's planning on staying alive here against Strelok's superior production capability. Look at this production tab, man. He's getting all kinds of stuff. 6 Marines, a tank, medevacs. He is getting that +1 weapon upgrade, which I mentioned earlier. Like to see that. Good grab right there. But this medevac is getting so low on health, he's going to have to switch off here with this other medevac still in the yellow health. That queen finally goes down, so Zenio is left with no anti-air at all. Oh, a queen pops right as I say that and takes out that medevac. Good job by Zenio. Nice timing there. But still a lot of Marines and Marauders left here. This Marauder's so beefy, I think this queen might actually go down to just this small force here. Unless Zenio manages to back off. Now some Zerglings surround this Marauder, take him out. Another Overlord did go down there. Zenio's capped at 68 over 68. Strelok at 110 supply, almost doubling him there. And we've got 2 more medevacs, almost full of units here off the right side of Zenio's main. The hatchery is starting to come up without a hitch, but this drop is going to be probably pretty devastating here. And the lair did finally complete. A spire is on the way. Zenio has stayed alive long enough for at least that to happen, but now Strelok is here. He's forced to cancel that spire. He lifts all of his units back up, loses a couple of them there, not paying a ton of attention, just enough attention to keep these medevacs alive and get that octo drop picked back up. Now we see some tanks being dropped on the cliff here. With that superior range, going to easily be able to kill off this queen, drones, hatchery, all that stuff. And now with a 2-pronged attack here, Strelok looking in a very, very dominant position here. All these upgrades coming from Zenio, some roaches coming out now. I don't believe it's going to be enough. All these drones are forced to stop mining. Zenio does not have very many minerals even to spend. He's only got about less than 100 there. All these roaches coming out are just going to be killed off by these couple of medevacs and Marines. Drones being fed to their death. We've got tanks, Marines being ferried on the left side of the map trying to kill off this hatchery. Zenio knows he has been pinned in his base way too long. This hatchery over here is not going to matter at all, and basically he doesn't want to keep fighting a battle that he cannot win. So Strelok does take game number 2 with an impressive, very aggressive strategy. I very much liked that game there on Lost Temple, but this is a best-of-3 series in the quarterfinals of this tournament, so now we have to see who will win game 3 and move on into the semifinals for a chance at some more money. So come on with me.